look at this concave, this crescent moon.
This is what's going to happen now. The supply goes in Huck's favor. He's just going to barrel through, take out whatever.
So much pile here coming forth.
Looking like Nesty is going to take it here.
Dancing the roaches a little bit. Scarlet. Now the Hydras are exposed. Those Vita's going to die, and it's not really going to make that much of a difference. GG.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday evening here from the MLG studios in New York City. I welcome you back to our coverage of the WCS America Season 1 Premier League is currently well underway. We've already had Tuesdays. This is day number 3. Of course, I'm Axel Toss, joined by Axlav, and we have a lot of great players playing today.
Of course. We've got a great player from Australia, great player from Korea, great player from the United States, great player from Mexico. Pretty much 4 different countries all around the globe sending some of their best to compete here in this group.
Of course, guys, this is the round of 32. So we have 32 players starting out this thing. We got 8 groups of 4. I promise you the math does check out. And we got lots of players from pretty much around the world participating in this WCS America, trying to get a spot in the round of 16, which will be in a live studio setting. You know, they'll be here in the New York offices playing some StarCraft 2. We'll be here casting it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we're going to show you a picture of these glorious gentlemen, all suited up there next to their logos. We got, of course, we have a single lady there as well in Scarlet. Definitely want to respect her. But yes, groups A through H, we're going to be covering over the next 2 weeks. 8 p.m. Eastern start time every single day, Monday through Thursday. We've already covered Group F and E. Of course, STC and Snoot, Nesty, and Apocalypse, respectively. Qualifying out of those, getting top 4. Are you surprised by those results, Mr. Nick?
You know, I'm a little surprised, but not a lot surprised. I really thought Minigood would pull through. He took it to the Game 3 versus Apocalypse, and unfortunately did fall, but that was a very, very close series, you know. He really had his chances to win, and he even said, oh, I think I should have won that
Those games are great. You know, I was talking to him on Skype right after that ended, and he's like, gosh, man, I threw away Game 2. I feel really bad. So, guys, show him some love on Twitter. I know he went a long way. But huge congrats, though, to Nesty and Apocalypse making it through.
Nesty just destroyed
Oh, it wasn't even an issue.
Yeah. He was like, you guys do not belong in the same group with me. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened. Of course, Nesty is a very good player, and he just is never going to stop being good, it seems. Of course, that leads us into today. Today is going to be Group H. We got Maker, Illusion, Moonglade, and Alicia. So we got 1 Korean player here from Alicia representing Team Axiom going up against 2 Americans as far as from the Americas in Maker and Illusion, and of course Moonglade hailing from Australia.
That's right. A very intercontinental group here. The favorite would have to be Alicia. I mean, he's almost the Nesty of this group. I think a lot of people might argue his current form could be even stronger than Nesty's. He's definitely going to be the favorite. You know, one of the big questions for me especially is, what is Illusion's current form? You know, we really haven't seen Illusion play in a major event for quite some time.
Yes.
We've seen him look amazing at some points in his career, and at some other points, he looks like he's not really at that top professional level. The
last time we saw him play was actually against Vive in the Winter Season Showdowns, where he lost. I think it was 3-2. That was a fantastic match, by the way. Not going to forget that one for a while. Of course, Illusion also participated at the Global Finals in Shanghai for WCS, so he definitely has a lot of experience. A very young player too. Of course, going up against Moonglade, and that's going to be a match that I'm pretty sure a lot of Australians are waking up upside down and early. Waking up early over there, maybe? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
I'm sure skipping school.
Exactly, to make sure they cheer on Moonglade to get past this group. And again, I feel like that's where a lot of people are leaning towards as far as favorites are concerned, Alicia and Moonglade. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Honestly, I think any one of these names can get out. Of course, Maker is a big question mark to a lot of people. You know, obviously not a name you see everywhere, but he has had results in the past. And that's going to be our first match. It's going to be Alicia versus Maker. And, you know, as I said, I feel like a lot of people are going to be considering Maker the underdog. And, like, a story throughout this tournament so far is which players are going to come out and actually advance from this group that are actually from the Americas, because we have so far a player from Norway and 3 players from Korea. So Maker, of course, WCS Mexico 2nd place behind none other than Major. Of course, Major, who is on Team 8 currently in Korea. And Maker's been on a lot of teams, but I think right now he is representing Chaos Latin Gamers, I think I learned today. So I have to see what Maker can do, but Maker, I definitely consider the underdog here, I think.
Definitely. One thing you can say, though, is he's really been practicing a lot. He's one of the top GMs on the North American ladder.
Oh,
in
yeah.
fact, that's how he got into that tournament Total Biscuits hosting the STARCRAFT America.
Was he 5th overall? I think he was up there.
He was very high. I forget the exact placement, but very, very active. And he's probably playing some of the best StarCraft of his career right now. Very excited to see what he has to show up against Alicia.
Of course, going up against Alicia, a Protoss player hailing from Korea, was on Team Slayers and then eventually went over to Axiom. Axiom, a very powerful presence in this tournament. I know a lot of people are going to be cheering on Alicia here. Plenty of great results. Look at all those 2nd places. Honestly, I think Alicia is pretty darn underrated. I think he's a very, very good player. He should not be considered, one of those guys that's going to be knocked out of the round of 16, round of 32. I think there's a good chance he gets to the top 8, top 4 of this tournament. That's how good I think he is.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, he's gotten 2nd places in major events, Spring Championships, major NESL, Season 3, Summer Arena. So, 2nd place, every single one of those 3 2nd place titles is a title with many of the world's best players. Even I think all those events had at least both the MLG ones, at least 8 of the world's best Koreans, and if not 10, 16, etc. So he's one of the top players, even in Korea, where, of course, the play level is so high there. A lot of 2nd places come with the curse of the Kong Dynasty, used to call it in Brood War. So he's going to be looking in WCS America to come out 1st in his group of 32, 1st in his group of 16, and just win the whole thing, prove everyone that he has what it takes to take one of those gold championships.
First, we'll see what happens, guys. The first best of 3 is going to be between Maker and Alicia, and we were able to get one of these players on Skype for a little interview before this match starts. Of course, we're playing these completely live, and Maker is sitting there on Skype, and he's getting ready to play his match. Maker, how's it going, man?
Hey, hi, man. I'm doing good.
Awesome. Now, a lot of people might not necessarily know, I guess, where you come from, how you're kind of making a name for yourself. Can you explain briefly your history in StarCraft 2?
Well, actually, I haven't had too much success on international tournaments because I haven't had the chance to play on them. But I have won 2 WCGs Mexico. I got 2nd place on WCS Mexico last year. And in the MLG Rally, I got into the championship bracket. And that's so far my result.
Well, there you go. And now, for people who haven't necessarily seen the matches that you've played, how would you kind of describe your play style in StarCraft 2?
Well, actually, it depends on what match I'm playing, because on TVC sometimes I like to turtle a lot. In TVP, I like to be very aggressive.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Of course, TVP is going to be against Alicia today. What are your current thoughts on the game state revolving around TVP, Terran versus Protoss?
It's going to be very hard because Alicia is a very strong opponent, but I think if I do my best, I can take him down.
All right. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be cheering for you. Do you have anything to say to the people out there that are watching you right now and potentially cheering you on?
Well, I thank everyone who is cheering for me. I will do my best, and that's it. Thank you for supporting me.
That's awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to your games, and Maker, best of luck in your games against Alicia. And that being said, of course, I think the players are actually in the lobby right now. Maker's going to be hanging up Skype, and he's going to be getting his fingers ready on his mouse and keyboard, getting ready to play. Shall we ask these players if they're ready?
I think we should. We should. There's enough talk. One thing I'm really excited is Maker said he likes to play aggressive TVP, and I think that's one of the most exciting styles to watch. We've seen a lot of aggressiveness from Apocalypse, from Phoenix, and now Maker again with that same trademark style. Alicia, he's got to be used to the Korean aggressive builds. But Maker, of course, has a different style of his own, and he may have a different form of aggression that could catch Alicia off guard.
All right, let's see what happens. The first map is going to be Daybreak, a very important best of 3 again. Just a reminder of how this works. The winner of this best of 3 will move on to the winner's match. If that person wins there, they're into the round of 16. Here we are in game number 1, match number 1. In the bottom left-hand location, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Axiom, hailing from Korea, considered a favorite in this group. He is Alicia. His opponent in the top right-hand location, a little bit of mystery around him, but I'm happy we got the chance to talk to him a little bit before this game started. Hailing from Mexico, he is your blue Terran player, Maker. All right, Nick.
So, for a player like Maker, who said he really likes to play aggressive in Terran vs. Protoss, Daybreak is a map that you may be asking yourself, why did he not veto this map?
I was just asking myself that.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
This is typically a map where it's WCS is a map pool of 7 maps. Of course, each player vetoes 2. The last 3 maps are, of course, the 3 to be used in the best of 3 for these group stage matches. And I have to say, Daybreak is probably one of the maps that favors aggression the least in the map pool. So the fact that he didn't veto it, it could be a sign of a couple things. One, maybe it doesn't suit his style that well, but it's really great for him because he has so much experience on it. Daybreak's been a map that's been around for a very long time. He could just feel very comfortable on it regardless of the style it plays to. Then the other option is, maybe there are features he likes on Daybreak. There is a lot of airspace you can hide out, behind the main. There's spaces you can hide Benevacs there. Drop play is still pretty good on Daybreak, and you don't have to worry too much about Protoss timing, so you can just focus more on your own aggression. So, there are some reasons to choose this.
It's pretty interesting because Alicia doesn't necessarily know a lot about Maker, I think. I feel like Alicia's the kind of player who's going to be very confident with this play, and for good reason. He's very good at the game of StarCraft 2, has the results, has that experience. So, the fact that Maker said he loves playing aggressive against Protoss, perhaps he has something in store that'll kind of take Alicia off guard. Heart of the Storm is still a relatively new game, so there's still things getting figured out. Maybe we will see some sort of crazy timing push. Maybe we'll see Hellions somehow sneak by into his opponent's main base. We saw Apocalypse. He used crazy strategies yesterday. He was being aggressive while at the same time being economic. Like, it didn't make sense in my mind, but he made it work. Like, he had three racks on one base and then double expanded. It was absolutely insane. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happening here. It looks like starting out, we got Mr. Maker opening up with a gas just to get that react out on the field. Also got a little Reaper scouting across and taking expansion very fast. So wanting to get to that mid game fairly quickly.
Maker sent his SCV about 10 to 15 seconds early to his natural, and that's often a sign of nerves. When you're making sure you're not making any mistakes, you're almost hyper vigilant with your initial part of your build order, and you're sending SCV a little bit too early. Oh, losing the Reaper too. Things are not going 100% for him so far.
For those who don't understand my expression there of a little bit of pain, that's not. The early Reaper is very important in TVP. Not only does it represent a decent amount of resources in the early game, but it's pretty much your stake on map control in the early game, and it's your ability to scout your opponent out. And as a Protoss player, killing that Reaper not only means you're going to be up in units lost, but it also means you can feel safe to start scouting. You can know your Stalker can keep your opponent's stuff from getting into your base, at least an SCV or something like that. And I feel like a lot of confidence you're going to gain from getting that early Reaper. Every Protoss out there knows what I'm talking about, that fist pump that you put down when you kill that Reaper. So Alicia with a minor advantage here in the early game.
He's also scouted the fact that Maker's gone 3 barracks before adding a tech, so he knows there's not going to be any fast drop chip play, just going to be a frontal assault if anything. In fact, one tech lab and then another reactor being put on these additional barracks. So that signifies Maker's going to go very marine heavy, and this could be a potential timing window. When you have 2 reactors, you can get a lot of marines and then strike right when you have about 4 medevacs, or even going with 2. Alicia, very, very fast teching it, and this is kind of the standard approach of the Protoss players in the early game. Now they have the Mothership Core, they say, you know what? I don't need units. I'll spend all my money on the armor upgrades and the forge, get the observers out to scout, etc., etc.
Yeah, very early +1 armor there from Alicia. Of course, you know, going 3 racks before factory here is going to imply that he wants to apply a little bit of pressure early. You know, maybe not to kill his opponent, but perhaps to try to force a photon overcharge, which can be pretty huge. And then maybe a little bit later, tacking on, you know, Medivacs to your composition to, you know, start getting some drop light in. Of course, the factory should be coming down fairly soon here from Maker. Yeah, there it is. So he's going to go into Starport. It's not going to be... It's not like he's going all in, right, with just Marines. Just just applying a little pressure, making Alicia spend some force field energy, perhaps, at the very least, getting a photon overcharge off. So, you know, nothing too crazy going on here.
If he can force that photon overcharge and only lose 1 Marine or even lose no Marines, that's going to make his attack a little bit later when he adds in those Medivacs so much more powerful. And look at the timing. Yeah. Combat Chill finishes just as the Marines are entering the Protoss space. I think Alicia has to use that photon overcharge here.
All right, we'll keep it on. There's the photon overcharge. And just as you said, only 1 Marine going to fall. Even 2 force fields going down here from Alicia. Not accomplishing too much. 1 very brave Marine has a bunch of broken limbs trying to instigate that Stalker. Stalker turn around saying, all right, I'll kill you. And the Marine does end up falling. So, you know, 2 Marines lost, but expended all that energy on that Mothership core. And now it is going to have another photon overcharge very soon, so we'll have to see if Maker decides to re-engage. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Behind this, we see a Twilight Council on the way, as well as a Warp Prism. So it looks like he might be going for, you know, potentially a Dark Templar drop.
It definitely could be. He knows Maker has all his units out in front of Alicia's base, so a counterattack from Alicia could prove devastating, but he's got to make sure his defense is solid as well. Of course, Photon Overcharge is going to go away very soon. Is Maker going to try to force another one? He's going in.
He's going forward, and will he back away? It looks like he will. Force field going down from Alicia, and they are true, but looks like those Marines able to sneak out a little bit. 4 more Marines joining in on the fun, and look at this.
He
this
saw
is so
the
much
Prism.
bio. There's no more energy on this Mothership core. That means no more ability to use that photon overcharge. Behind this, we have a High Templar Archives about to finish, but we'll have to see if Alicia is confident enough to start the Storm upgrade right away, or if he feels a little bit scared and decides to make some Archons, or maybe at the most, I feel like 1 Archon.
One thing that went really well for Maker there is he saw that Warp Prism, so he knows that threat is a potential possibility. His Stim Pack is also going to finish moments after that Photon Overcharge wears away. And he's going to have a substantial timing where he could try another attack before, you know, it would definitely before Storm completes, and there's no Photon Overcharge. He may want to wait for a few Medivacs though, but the longer he waits, the more likely Storm is going to be ready.
Really cool build here from Alicia. We can see, you know, he's not being... you know, he's not being super defensive. Like, he's teching quite a bit, even when his opponent had units at his front door. So Alicia showing that confidence, continuing with his tech, starting with the Storm upgrade, you know, continuing with his upgrades, even while his opponent's at his front door. So really cool build here from Alicia, staying safe while at the same time proceeding with the tech, even squeezing out a Warp Prism, so has the potential to do that counter-attack aggression. Also adding a lot of gateways here, so making sure he stays safe on 2 bases before going out and taking that 3rd.
Maker's timing window is going away. There's more and more Zealots being warped in. Leash is almost up to 8 warp gates. He's going to try to go in now.
Oh, the Marines coming forward. Remember, no Photon Overcharge at the moment. Pylon getting sniped away. Going to start targeting down some units coming out of force fields going down. Storm, is it done? No, it's not. Storm just now finishing. There's the Storm onto the Marines. A huge Storm there from Alicia. And that should spell the end of this aggression.
Oh, man, I thought Maker almost had it for a second there, but he didn't realize those Templar on the high ground. If he just knew they were there, he could have done so much more damage. As it is, though, forced to run away. 2 Marines actually they're saying, you know what, let's just go back in there. And
keep in mind, 8 warp gates.
Yeah, this is going to be so difficult for Maker to hold. Remember, all that aggression meant that he wasn't putting investments into production. He only has 3 barracks versus 8 warp gates of Alicia. There's Storm in action. Maker's going to have a very tough time defending this attack.
In StarCraft 2, whenever you can pretty much dismantle your opponent's army, counterattacking right away is the best way to get damage done. We have a drop attempted into the main base, another way to try to come back into a game that you're kind of falling behind, and that's what's happening here for Maker, doing some aggression towards that main base, but now switching to the natural expansion.
A great move. He needs to get Alicia away from his base. He can't take the attack right now. Alicia, though, great feedbacks in Storms. Barely doesn't kill those Medivacs, and you know, that was definitely a win for Maker. Yes, you know, he took a bad trade there with that drop, but if Alicia attacked him with those Storms and all he has is a single bunker,
yes,
he would have had no chance at defending.
Alicia forced to retreat, meaning that that timing attack from Alicia was going to be delayed. So Alicia going straight up to that robotics bay, continuing to work on those upgrades. I like how Maker is mixing in those Hellbats. That's a pretty cool move to try to deal with the Zealots that are warped into his main base. He's able to shove that off without too much damage done. Look at Workers Guild only 7 workers killed there for Alicia, so
Not too bad.
not a terrible position. And he has 3 orbital commands, or he's approaching that 3rd. So, Maker might be a little bit behind in tech. I feel like Alicia definitely has the momentum. We can see also the supply advantage for Alicia too, but I wouldn't count Maker out of this game just yet.
Definitely not, definitely not. He is a little bit behind in upgrades, but he is getting more and more Hellbats. He's going to need a lot of Hellbats to deal with those Zealots, because of course, Marines can kill Zealots very efficiently, but he has no Ghosts, and the Storms are a great counter to Marines. That makes Hellbats his best asset going forward in this game, unless he chooses to go to get some Ghosts. In fact, there it goes. There's a Ghost Academy.
Now, he saw Storm a while ago, so it's a little bit intriguing that he's just now going for that Ghost Academy. I'm not sure how effective a bio push will be. If he does a push across the map, I feel like he's just going to poke and prod and you don't really want to get close to those Templar, because once those storms hit your army, the only thing you can really do is split and just try to stay away from those storms. So I don't see Maker going for a direct engagement here.
I don't think he will. I think it would be a mistake. Like you mentioned, the Storms can be so powerful. And I mean, Alicia even has a large army as well. Even without the Storms, it would be very tough for Maker to defend it. A little bit of one Zealot counter to 3rd. If Maker doesn't keep an eye on that could end up.
Oh my gosh, the Storms from Alicia melting away the entire army of Maker. And he's left with 3 Marauders, 2 Medivacs. He's going to scoop those guys up and run away as fast as he can. Meanwhile, we have a drop in the main base here. From Maker, and going to try to get some probe kills. The Hellbat doing a great job against the Zealots. It looks like Alicia is going to try to counterattack across the map at the same time.
He is. That Zealot in the 3rd already scouted the fact that it was there and killed a couple SCVs. Defending his main from these drops as well is going to push that back for now.
All right, Alicia coming forward to his opponent's 3rd base. Maker trying to figure out a way to stop this, but only 2 Marauders and some SCVs. Again, that Storm from before being so cost efficient. We got a drop in the natural expansion of Alicia as well, but Maker needs to focus on holding off this push. 3 Archons in the mix. No Ghosts are on the field just yet, and I think this might be a very tough position here for Maker. There's no way he holds his 3rd.
Losing his 3rd is such a bad thing, considering Alicia's before his 3rd has been untouched. The drop play, it was a great idea, but Alicia's defense was just too strong, and multitasking of this Protoss Korean Giant is just out of this world. He's pushing forward here. The Orbital is even going to go down.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Exploding and dropping off the end of Daybreak there.
Maker's almost in a checkmated position here. He's got to find a way to maybe make a miracle battle occur.
Go for a base trade, pull an Apocalypse perhaps, but, Alicia's been completely on top of that. Marines and Marauders running for the line, turning around and stemming. Here come the SCVs, but the Storms are there, and there's the GG from Maker. Alicia taking game number 1. Really awesome play there from Alicia. I have so much admiration for the guy for going for a pretty fast Storm and staying safe. Like, Maker was going for those pushes that pretty much exploit that timing where if you're trying to rush for tech, if you're being a little bit greedy, that you can be pretty vulnerable. But Alicia showing great control, greatly timed photon overcharges, greatly timed force fields, able to delay enough time to get the Storm out so that he could use that in defending those attacks.
That actually gained that attack almost.
Yeah.
If that attack hit a few seconds earlier, or if the Storm came out a few seconds later, it could have gone very, very, very differently. And from there on out, Alicia had the lead. Maker had to try that drop play. Yeah. And of course, Alicia's defense was just all over it.
I mean, once you have high Templars at that point in the game, the momentum in the game, in my opinion at least, is it's kind of in your favor. Like, whenever you go for those Storms, it's now that early and you get away with it, it's now up to your opponent to react to that and to start adjusting his play based on that. So we saw a bunch of great Storms there from Alicia. Maker obviously caught well off guard. How do you think he needs to change his game plan in game 2?
I actually liked his game plan. Yeah. I think his second attack, he could have attacked about 15 seconds earlier. He had stim, there was no photon overcharge for a good 15 seconds. And I mean, in the world of StarCraft, 15 seconds could be a massive amount of time. I mean, 15 seconds more of killing a Protoss base before their Storm come out, that might have given him the advantage he needs to go forward in that game and be ahead.
All right, guys, we'll see what happens.